let's try to understand, as we have, as the focus of today's discussion is a mom at work. Let's try to see, split the two parts of a mother and a professional, starting with a mother. Now, when we talk of a motherhood, rather, unlike a professional side, a motherhood doesn't come with a probation period or a honeymoon period. It just starts the moment that little being comes into existence and is handed over to you. So that's when motherhood kicks in, and you really don't have time to prepare every, for everyone it is different, every child is different, every mother is different, so the journey is entirely different. However, what remains the same is the expectations, the responsibilities, the traits that the mother should have continues to be the same. So let's take a look at what those are. Adaptability, agility. And the reason I say I'm trying to use some of these phrases, which you might think, probably comes with me coming from the HR transformation background. But then I feel that, we can draw that relation very closely, because that's literally what one does in a professional life and on the personal side. So a mother needs to adapt to the situation as quickly as possible, because there's literally no time to think through, make a choice, go slow, learn. It's on the job learning. So adaptability is very important. Agility, of course, becomes extremely important. Availability, even before the mother realizes, she's just out there having sleepless nights, working around the clock. So availability is not a choice, it is a mandate for a mother. Continuous learning, yes, of course. I think that's again a mandate, because like I said, it's different. Motherhood is different for everyone. Children are different. So it's just a continuous learning process, and turnaround time being, I don't know if there's something like a turnaround time 0, but that's what it is. Like, it's instant. It needs to be done right then, and there, and almost everything becomes critical. Maybe as the kids grow, probably, we would have a little bit of leeway, but still, most of the times, everything comes in as a critical matter to a mother. And of course, continuous improvement, periodic iterations, changes to the way we are doing something based on, how things are progressing. So that goes without saying. And family management, socializing, I think these are things that we have heard enough. Scalability becomes a very important factor for a mother, because one is probably managing not just one child, managing multiple child, because that probably is the scale of her work. Secondly, mother also, is expected to play multiple other roles. For example, a mother has to step in as a teacher, probably. A mother has to step in as a nurse. Honestly speaking, I had no clue about all of it. But then, and nursing a child versus nursing an adult is very different. So you're expected to play those additional roles. You're expected to scale up. And that is what, is an expectation of a mother. Now let's take a look at the expectations of, the requirements, roles, responsibilities of a woman on the professional side. As you can see, almost everything stands the same, because adaptability, agility, availability, continuous learning, quick turnaround time, you need to continuously improve on yourself, constant checks to see how you're doing, scalability. I think we have heard enough of it. I'm not going to dwell on that. But then, if you see that both the sides have the similar set of expectations, at least the roles, the traits that are required remain the same. But, the way I would define a mom at work at this stage would be that it is basically one individual bestowed upon 2 full-time jobs, and not even at different shifts, probably managing it all at the same time, So how does then a mom at work look like? To me, this is how a mom at work would look like. And rightly so, right? Because if you shoulder responsibilities which are double, you definitely need to have those multiple hands to help you with it. And I was really surprised, because this was an image that was in my mind as I was thinking through, and as I started to put the presentation, I was wondering, maybe I should make it more visual. So let me see if I get some image from Google, and I was surprised to see that the moment I type in a mom at work, these are the type of images I see of women with multiple hands. And as we saw the responsibilities, I think it's justified in the current state of things that a mom is a working mother is depicted this way. All right, so now that we sort of discussed about the responsibilities, let us take a look at what is the state of mind of a working mother, right? To me, this image over here speaks volumes of what a mother goes through. So let me just take a minute to explain this. So if you see, a mother is, constantly thinking of, what her child's needs are, what are those things that are on top priority for her child. She's also thinking of those household chores which are probably not attended to and which are just going to pile up. How does she plan that? She's also thinking of, feeding her child, money for her nanny, which means ensuring that her support system continues and she's well enabled. All of this with the thought that she has to rush to begin her professional day, right? So what is the state of mind, that she must be going through? To me, it is a lot of stress. Now, once she is at work, of course, work comes with its own set of expectations, deliverables, timelines, and that's something that, of course, if we choose working as, if we make a choice of being a professional and working, we need to adhere to certain things. So with this comes work pressure. And we work through the day, and let's say we get back home, and this is probably a pre-pandemic situation where a mother is getting back home. Maybe things, are pretty much the same, just that the mother now locks herself inside a room as she starts to work. But then, she gets back home only to realize that maybe she has forgotten that she had a few kids back at home. So what seeps in is a mother's guilt. And the reason I mentioned, while there could be many more things which probably is playing in a mother's mind, but at least from my experience, I think these three things play a major factor. And the one on the top of the list is the mother's guilt. Because, those few extra minutes, let's say I'm taking a tea, after office hours, I need a cup of tea and I step out with my colleagues to have a sip of tea and I come back home and I see my kids running to me, I would definitely regret having that one cup of tea. So that's where the mother's guilt plays in for everything, things that we are not to be blamed for, things that probably, we can take the blame, but everywhere the mother's guilt plays a major role. So that's the state of mind with stress, work pressure, mother's guilt, and with time, probably things change a little. Some of it soften down as kids grow. But I think for a major part of motherhood and the major part of the career, which is the woman is coming back, the mother is coming back into the race, I think these three things play a very big role in the state of their mind.